like to apologize to our lovely and cherished viewers for the false or spurious electronic signal we received, amounting to our inability to bring you the ending part of our discussion on today's transmission. In our discussion, we told individuals that the IGP and then some members of the police management board were in town to hold some engagement with police officers who have been deployed for this year's KWAHU Easter Festival. But then our technicians have worked so hard to restore this particular technical, lapse, and so we are back on air. And so I'm joined in the studio by our reporter, Chief Inspector Priscilla Nkrumah, who was with the team, the IGP, and then some members of the police management board, during the engagement. We're going to find out from her how the discussion went by way of his briefing to his men. We said that this visit serves as a morale booster for every police officer who has been deployed for this particular activity, because once we have our papa in the house, it means that it's only going to strengthen and embolden our commitment and dedication to work. And so we're going to find out what really transpired by way of his message or his words to police officers who were at the meeting today, from now, tomorrow, and then until Sunday when you are done with the entire activity. So, Chief Priscilla, welcome back to the studios of J Police Television.
Thank you so much, Sergeant Tiaboite.
Right, so once you are with IG, please let our viewers know what really transpired by way of the engagement that ensued between some PUMAP members and an IG to police officers who were present at the Emergency Command Center.
Yes, thank you so much once again. And to viewers, we welcome you back once again. Yes, I was with the IGP's team. And so today we have the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Teteyuhunu, joining us here at KWAHU. So he did not only send us here to come and perform the Easter duties, but he's also followed up as well to see and to boost our morale, like Sergeant Tiaboite Watson already mentioned. And so yes, the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Teteyuhunu, in the company of some members of the Police Management Board, as well as some senior police officers, met with the duty men and women deployed for this duty, boosted their morale, and then assured them of the confidence that he has in them that this duty is going to go well. He also used the opportunity to advise them to have their eyes open, to be vigilant, so that they can detect anything untoward that may happen here. Again, he's also used this opportunity to ask them to work hard so that we record less, minimal, or zero crimes at all. Again, he did not end there. After his briefing to the men on the ground, he also used the opportunity to also visit the health center that is set up at the Emergency Command Center.
Right.
And so this health center is not only to serve the police personnel that are here,
right,
but it's also open to all the security personnel that have been deployed for this year's Easter celebration.
Right.
Again, it is also open to all the revelers that have come here to enjoy and to make merry. It's also open to all the indigents that are in and around this environment. So if you are here in KWAHU and then you came specifically for this time's Easter, or you live here but you have any health challenge, then you may do well to go to the Emergency Command Center as in prior so, and then our health professionals, doctors, nurses from the Ghana Police Hospital will do well to attend to you and your medical needs. And if it is beyond them, then they can advise correctly. Apart from the health center that has been set up at the Emergency Command Center, there is also a full setup where we have demarcated desk. And so the desk, what we have there, we have the body cam and surveillance desk.
Okay.
And then so what it means is that we have body cams on some of our men that are in town to record on the spot events that are happening. And so what it means is that if we capture any untoward situation that has to do with crime, then immediately it picks it up. And so the standby team immediately rushed in.
Okay.
Apart from the body cam and surveillance team, we also have the investigative team or the investigative desk. Now, at the investigative desk, we have those who pick up, prepare, and receive situational reports. And so on the spot, when we receive a report, then immediately we work on it and then transmit it to the various quarters that it has to go to. We also have people who are there to receive your complaints. And so if you have come to KWAHU for this Easter celebration and then you have any situation that has got to do with crime and then you need a police to come in or you need any assistance at all from the police, then you should do well to go to the Emergency Command Center and then the investigative desk, and they will do well to help you. They also have seasoned investigators that are there to pick up your complaints and then work on them. We also have the drone session that is to cover. So the police is not only on the ground, but we are also in the skies as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then we have lots of teams on the ground everywhere. We also have the police TV stand here.
Absolutely.
And so it is for everybody out there that needs any security answers to be answered. You need any help from the police, then do well to come by, and we'll do well to explain and then help you with that. And so basically that is what is happening.
Fantastic. And so viewers, it tells you that the Ghana Police Service is bringing you a full package of our operations. As you can see, we have on the spot individuals who are receiving situational reports to act, you know, on timely occasions to ensure that we foster or we give out remedies to whatever complaints that we receive. Again, we also have our drone officials or our drone pilots who are also experts in taking area shots to give us area coverage by way of detecting areas where criminals are likely to also invade. And so all too soon, this is where we draw the curtains on today's production. I mean, the Good Friday edition of KWAHU Easter Festival, you know, which was brought to you live on GH Police Television, live on Facebook at Ghana Police Service, and then live on YouTube at Ghana Police Service, also on DSTV channel 362. It was nice having your company once again. As we have said, we are coming back tomorrow morning for a different transmission with KWAHU, right from a TBA in Price, so Obomi, Obo, Asakraka, Trinidurasi, Tafo, everywhere. We've got you covered. Once again, I am Sergeant Yao Boite, but in today's transmission, I was joined in the studio by my colleague, Policewoman Sergeant Benedetta Prago, and then Policewoman Sergeant Mebizekuya Owusu. During the ending tail of the program, I also had Chief Inspector Priscilla Pepa Nkrumah, who was a reporter with IGP's team during his engagement with police officers at the Emergency Command Center. Until we come your way tomorrow, do stay with us on GH Police Television for educational and informative content. It is still KWAHU. We are out. Sergeant!
Control your vehicle. Please reduce it. Look at the hazard relating to the environmental conditions at the time. Do not say that because they say I can drive up to 50. I am driving 50 even if it has rained, even if there's a lot of danger, even when I am approaching the railway line, I will still drive at 50. No, when you do that, you are putting yourself into a lot of danger. So do not just look at the speed limits. Look at the environmental factors that exist at the time and then guide your speed accordingly. All right, so a person shall drive at a lesser speed. I mean, lesser than what the LI is permitting you when you look at the potential hazard that exists at the said portion of the road. You are supposed to look at that and then guide your speed as well. Do not say that because the speed limit say that you can drive at this speed, then you are driving at it, even regardless of the environmental conditions that are existing at the time. Or regulation 165 sub-regulation 2E, which is also saying that a person driving a motor vehicle shall drive at a safe and appropriate speed when special hazards exist with respect to pedestrians or other traffic, or by reasons of weather or road conditions. So just as I mentioned earlier, so you're supposed to drive with a safe and appropriate speed when you look at the hazards and then the environmental conditions that exist in relation to traffic, bad weather. Like I said, when it is raining, you realize that it is very difficult driving through the rain. So you are supposed to be guided by that and not necessarily the speed limit that you have at that portion of the road. Not because you say you can drive 50 km per hour, even when it is raining heavily, you are still driving at that speed. When you can drive 90 km per hour, you are driving at 90 km per hour, even when it is raining. Please consider the conditions that are existing at the time and then guide your speed in that process. Now let's look at some dangers associated with pedestrian crossing. So when you are driving past a pedestrian crossing, you are supposed to be very careful and then protect yourself. There are certain things that you are not supposed to do. Don't get yourself distracted when you are driving on the pedestrian or getting closer to pedestrian crossing. So let's look at this video. So a person is driving a motor vehicle, decided to check a message on the phone and then nearly knocked down a pedestrian. So it is very risky. Do not take your eyes off the road at all, because the seconds that you are taking your eyes off the road can cause a lot of trouble. So this woman decided to check a message and nearly knocked down the pedestrian. And then another person also did same. He decided to also take his eyes off the road and check a message and then knocked down a pedestrian as well. So please, the danger is just that much. The second that you take your eyes off, you realize that this person actually got himself into trouble. Eventually this person might be dead because of the situation or the accident. So please, when you are driving on the road, make sure that you are concentrate well on the road, because the seconds you take to glance your phone can cause a lot of trouble for you and then other users of the road. That seconds really matters. It doesn't matter whether it is just a glance or it is just picking the call or doing other thing. Please make sure that you are fully concentrating on the motor vehicle when you're approaching or anywhere at all, not even just on the pedestrian crossing. But the risk on the pedestrian crossing is that you are likely to knock down a pedestrian, and then on the other side of the road you may be involved in an accident or you may run into another vehicle. But on the pedestrian crossing, you are likely to knock down a pedestrian. That is why it's more important to look out for that when you are driving on the motor vehicle closer to a pedestrian crossing. Now let's look at another video and also get to know why it is important for you to take care of yourself when you are driving towards a pedestrian crossing. So this person is actually driving to his wedding, and then the motor vehicle stopped for an elderly person to cross the road. But because he is much more interested in the things that the wife or the wife to be is sending to him on the WhatsApp line or on the phone, he's looking at the images and eventually had to swerve the motor vehicle that had stopped, because he was running into that motor vehicle. And when he decided to swerve that motor vehicle, he knocked down a pedestrian, the woman who was pushing her baby across the road. And then just look at what you get yourself into. You are ruining your best day and then getting yourself into trouble because he knocked down the woman and then the baby eventually lost his or her life in the process. So please take care of yourself, ensure that you are always attentive, you are looking onto the road, and then you are very much attentive when you are getting closer to pedestrian crossing. Please put your phones aside. The phone can wait, that text message can wait, that phone call can wait. When you get yourself into a place that you feel it is very safe, or at a bus stop or a location that you can pull off the road, then you can get your phone answered. So the groom is eventually calling because she was sending the images to the husband to be to check how beautiful she was for the wedding, and then because of that the man was involved in an accident and then killed someone in the process. Now I am not sure that this wedding would even go on, because the man will not be in the right sense to continue with the wedding plans or even the wedding ceremony at the time. So please put your phone somewhere. If it is something that is urgent, please pull off the road and then attend to it, because you will not get another chance to correct the wrongs that you will do by answering your phone call or reading that text message or sending that image when you are driving, because you may end up knocking down a pedestrian. Now let's look at regulation 101F. It's saying that a person driving a motor vehicle on a road shall give preference to children, the elderly, and the physically challenged who wish to cross the road at designated crossings. So when you're on the pedestrian crossing and you see the elderly and then the kids and all that, please give them the opportunity to cross the road. Give them much priority than other road users so that they can cross the road without any trouble. So this elderly man is crossing the road. The driver decided to stop for the elderly man to cross the road. That is what you're supposed to do. So when you're on the road and you see an elderly person or people who are physically challenged, or you see school kids, or you see any child at all by the roadside and want to cross the road, please stop for them to cross the road without putting them in danger. So when you get to the pedestrian crossing, most importantly, you see school children wanting to cross the road or making an attempt to cross the road, please stop for them to cross, because the LI is requesting that you give them a higher priority and then give them the opportunity to cross the road without putting them into danger. Sometimes drivers will see school children standing by pedestrian crossing and they will keep driving past them without making any attempt to stop for them to cross the road. Please give preference to them, the children, the elderly, the physically challenged person. Give them preference and give them the opportunity to cross the road without putting them into trouble. So just as you can see, let's look at this video that was making rounds some time ago on social media. So these children are there and they're making an attempt to cross the road. Realize that the vehicles were counted, so 3-4 vehicles have passed without giving them the opportunity to cross the road. An elderly person had to come to their rescue, but even with that, a vehicle still crossed, a motorcycle still crossed them, and then did not give them the opportunity to cross the road. Please, when you see kids and then the elderly on the road, please give them preference, give preference to them and give them the opportunity to cross the road and then do what they want to do. And then they're physically challenged as well. So when you see people in the wheelchairs and then those with the walking sticks and then all that, please give them the opportunity to cross the road and not put them into danger. So just as you can see, if you see the blind person with a white stick wanting to cross the road, please give them the opportunity to cross the road. That is what regulation 101 sub-regulation G is saying, that give preference to a visually impaired pedestrian who carries a white stick or any sight aid and wishes to cross the road. So when you see a visually impaired person with a white stick or any sight aid at all, and then a person wants to cross the road, please give them the opportunity to cross the road and not put them into trouble. Now let's look at regulation 170 sub-regulation 1. It's saying that a person driving a motor vehicle shall not enter an intersection, pedestrian crossing, or a marked area unless there is sufficient space on the other side of the intersection, the pedestrian crossing, or the marked area to accommodate the motor vehicle that the pedestrian is operating without obstructing the passage of other motor vehicles or pedestrians despite a traffic control signal indicating to proceed. So when you are at a pedestrian, when you are on the road and then you get to a traffic intersection and you realize that the space there is not something, it's not a space that you can occupy, please ensure that even if the traffic light is green for you to go, do not move. If you realize that when you move your vehicle here, it will obstruct the pedestrian crossing or traffic from the other side from coming in, please, even if the light is green for you, the light is saying that do not move your motor vehicle, because when you do that, you are causing obstruction on the road. You are preventing the pedestrian from crossing, and you are also preventing the vehicles that are coming from the other intersection also from crossing or getting access to the road. So even if the road signs or the traffic light signal is saying that you should move, and you realize that your vehicle cannot have the opportunity to occupy this space, or when you realize that there's no space here for your motor vehicle, please do not move your motor vehicle into the intersection and cause danger and cause obstruction there. Please, it's an offense if you do that, and the police may get you arrested in that instance. So in a traffic intersection like this, when the traffic is, even if the traffic is green for you to move, you realize that at this time the traffic is red for them, but eventually when it was green, all of them decided to go. Even when they realized that the space there was not enough to occupy the motor vehicle, they all decided to move in, and now it is red and they have blocked the entire intersection with traffic from coming from the various intersections as well. When you do this, you are causing havoc on the road. We see it most of the time. You get to a traffic intersection, the traffic light is green, all right for you, but when you look ahead of you, realize that the road is blocked, so you may have to stop and keep the space there. Do not come into the middle of the intersection and block the whole space. Keep the space so that intersection to permit a pedestrian to cross the road. A person intersection to permit a pedestrian to cross the road. A person driving another motor vehicle or riding another motorcycle or bicycle that approaches from the rear or front shall not overtake the stopped motor vehicle. So when you get to a traffic intersection and a motor vehicle has stopped for pedestrian to cross the road, please do not overtake the motor vehicle. When you do that, it means that you are putting the life of the pedestrian in danger. So just look at this particular thing. There's a pedestrian here who wants to cross the road. The person is even on the pedestrian crossing and crossing the road already. This vehicle has stopped, but then this particular driver decided to overtake the motor vehicle that has stopped for the motor vehicle, and then is facing the oncoming vehicle from the other side of the road. When you do that, the pedestrian may get knocked down eventually somewhere here. When you make an attempt to rejoin your rightful lane, please, when you get to a situation like this where a driver has stopped for a pedestrian to cross on the pedestrian line, please stop behind the driver or the said motor vehicle. Do not attempt to overtake it, because when you decide to do that, you are putting the lives of the pedestrian in danger, and you may end up knocking down the pedestrian and putting yourself into trouble. Now let's look at regulation 154 sub-regulation 1. It's saying that it's also saying that where a police officer or an authorized person is directing vehicular traffic on a road, a person who proceeds across or along the carriageway in contravention of a direction to stop driving commits an offense. So if a police officer stops you and then you decide to drive on, you are committing an offense. You are supposed to obey the instructions given by the said officer and not drive on in that particular instance. Or let's look at regulation 154 sub-regulation 2, which is also saying that a pedestrian who jaywalks or ignores a traffic light signal commits an offense. There is a pedestrian crossing for you. A pedestrian crossing sign is there for you. We have marked a place for you to cross. When you decide to jaywalk or walk anyhow, you are committing an offense. We see it all the time. When you go to Kaneshi, when you go to La Paz, when you go to Achimota, Medina, where we have the footbridges, you realize that a person is standing under the footbridge and want to cross the highway beneath the footbridge. Sometimes you ask yourself why the person would decide to take such a risk and then risk him or herself in that situation. Instead of climbing the footbridge and then cross the road safely, the person will spend a lot of minutes on the road and then make an attempt to cross the road. Sometimes the number of minutes you spend on the road waiting for the vehicle to slow down or waiting for the traffic to reduce before you run and cross the road. I mean, if you had used the footbridge, you would have crossed the road long time and then gone to do whatever you were going to do. So please, do not let's just do that. It is an offense, and aside that being an offense, you are also putting yourself into a lot of trouble. So please, if there's a pedestrian crossing for you, please use the pedestrian crossing and then cross the road there, and then do not jaywalk. Do not walk anyhow on the road. If you decide to walk anyhow on the road, it's an offense and the police can get you arrested. All right, so viewers, we are starting on traffic orientation on GH Police TV. Today we are looking at pedestrian crossing. We have looked at the fact that there's a place for you to cross the road if you're a pedestrian, and then it's very important for you, the driver, to also give preference to people who have visual impairments, people who are aged and school children and all that when you are driving. I've said that you can be a pedestrian at any point in time. It's not all the things that you do that you can use your motor vehicle. When you want to buy something, you park your motor vehicle and then cross the road. So please consider pedestrians when you are using the road, because at a point in time, you also be a pedestrian. So let's just take care of that and then ensure that we are keeping the pedestrians safe at all times. We have also looked at the fact that you are not supposed to overtake motor vehicles when they have stopped for other vehicles, for pedestrians to cross the road. We also look at the fact that you are not supposed to jaywalk or walk anyhow on the streets or on the road when you are crossing. You look for the road markings that have been indicated there for you to cross the road, and cross the road there. Do not cross the road anyhow and put yourself into trouble. let's look at regulation 154 sub-regulation 7, saying that the pedestrian shall not linger on a road when crossing the road, but shall proceed with due dispatch. Please, when you want to cross the road, that is not the place to flex. That is not the place to show your body. If you're a woman, that is not the place to put down your catwalks and all that. Please proceed with due dispatch, with the best speed that you can go with. Please do not joke on the pedestrian crossing because the vehicles have stopped for you. Sometimes you tend to wonder why people will put themselves into such danger. Sometimes the pedestrian is crossing the road and the person is on the mobile phone. I mean, why would you do that? Please cross the road, and then when you are done crossing the road, you can tell the person to hold on the phone, and then after crossing the road, you can go back to talking on the phone. But then the pedestrian will be crossing the highway when the vehicles have stopped for him or her to cross, and the person will still be on the phone and then be walking majestically as if he or her is in his or her bedroom. Please don't do that and put yourself into danger. Proceed with due dispatch. That's what the LI is saying. So let's look at how people are supposed to cross the road. So the pedestrian crossing light is green for you, and then you're supposed to cross the road. So you're supposed to proceed with due dispatch. I mean, just look at how this woman is walking briskly. I mean, she's busy, she's eager to cross. And another person, our fine lady, is also crossing the road and eager to cross the road without putting herself in danger. This is how you're supposed to cross the road. Do not come onto the road and be walking as if you are not bothered. I mean, you don't even consider that you are walking on the road. I mean, this is a highway, for God's sake. So when the light is eventually green for those on the highway to move and they decide to move, you cannot run and catch up with the speed of the motor vehicle. So please move with due dispatch, just as the LI is saying, and put yourself safe. All right, so we're finishing. So let's look at regulation 193 sub-regulation 2, which is saying that a person who commits an offense under these regulations for which a penalty has not been prescribed is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not less than 10 penalty units and not more than 100 penalty units, or to a term of imprisonment of not less than 6 months, or to both the fine and then the imprisonment. So just as this is saying, so if you do the things that we have mentioned, any of them, when you cross the road anyhow, when you jaywalk, or when you do other, or you do not stop for a pedestrian or you do not stop as a driver for pedestrians to cross the road, and there are no penalty units that are assigned to it, you may find not less than 10 penalty units and not more than 100 penalty units, or to a term of imprisonment not more than 6 months, or to both the fine and then the jail term as well. As I always say, your fate is in the hands of the judge, and then he or she will decide what to do to you. Or the regulation 154 sub-regulation 10, which also says that a person who contravenes this regulation commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not more than 5 penalty units, or to a term of imprisonment of not more than 7 days, or to both. So to the ones that do not have, that is where you go with what we just spoke about. And then for this particular thing that has it, then you may be fined on summary conviction to a fine of not more than 5 penalty units, or to a term of imprisonment of not more than 7 days, or to both. Even if it is 1 day, it is not something that you're supposed to do and then get yourself put behind bars for 1 day. As we speak, a penalty unit is 12 Ghana cedis. So when you are fined 10 penalty, 20 penalty units, you multiply it by 12, and then you get to know the amount that you have to pay to the state. So viewers, this is where we draw down the curtains today on traffic orientation on GH Police TV. Today we have looked at pedestrian crossing. We have looked at the fact that you are supposed to look for pedestrian crossing sign where there is, or before you cross the road. And then when you are a driver, you also see a pedestrian making an attempt to cross the road, you are also supposed to stop for the pedestrian to cross the road. And you are also not supposed to walk on the road or jaywalk when there's a pedestrian crossing sign. And when there's a pedestrian crossing sign for you to cross, please walk or proceed with due. Yusuf Brahma, thank you very much for joining us today on this discussion on traffic orientation on GH Police TV. We always appreciate your time and effort that you make to join us on this discussion. You can always watch us live on your digital television or on DSTV channel 362. You can also send us your opinions and reviews on the WhatsApp line as displayed on your screen. You can as well get excerpts of this show on the Facebook page of the Ghana Police Service. Until we meet again next time on Traffic Orientation on GH Police TV, please continue to enjoy the rest of our programs. Thank you.
I'm PW Constable Asari Sandra from National Visibility. I will encourage everyone to watch GH Police TV.
Are you a personnel of the Ghana Police Service, desirous of purchasing additional police accoutrements? Worry not.
Walk into the state-of-the-art police shop located at the National Police Headquarters, Accra, where officers of all ranks can conveniently purchase their accoutrements. Such as sets of uniforms, berets, footwear, handcuffs, protective gear, branded police souvenirs, and many more.
Stationed outside Accra? Do not worry. Provision has been made for personnel stationed outside Accra to make their purchase online through the Police Welfare Online portal.
You can log on to the portal to make your purchase and have them delivered directly to you via courier service. Ghana Police Shop, your one-stop shop.
Hello Africa, hello Ghana. I am CSP Niri Andrea Wang, a Nigerian police officer, currently working with the United Nations Office to the African Union. And for the past 5 days, I've been here in Accra, Ghana, engaging with the Ghana National Police. And today I'm with you live in the GH Police TV station. The Ghana Police has been professional. I've been watching steadily the TV station, and I urge you to stay glued to GH Police TV. Thank you. Bye.
I am Mrs. Juliette Japon Amua. We are the staff of Ghanaian Child School located at Ofanko Barrier. We entreat all parents and students to keep watching Ghana Police TV. Ghana Police TV, engaging the people for a safer community. Yeah!
My name is Senior Superintendent of Police, Euku Juventine from the Uganda Police Force, particularly in the unit of Field Force Unit in the country. I have been I'm the contingent commander of Uganda Found Police Unit in Mogadishu. I've been there for the last 1 year and 1 month. Currently, I'm here in Ghana, engaging with the Ghana Police on assessment of the Formed Police Unit. What particularly I have enjoyed in Ghana here, the atmosphere of Ghana, and particularly the police. The Ghana police are relatively smart in uniform, and this is what I've really enjoyed in Ghana here. This is for Ugandans who are here in Ghana. I have this opportunity to say hi to you in the language abana Uganda bonna bali wano balamusiza bonna bana Uganda mwebale okulaba GH Police TV mubeewo mwebale nnyo batsebona banyabo.
Hello, I'm Suzanne Kofi from University of Ghana, currently at Boteman Sports Complex, and I entreat you all to watch GH Police TV. Bye!
I go by the name Adelaide Amayesu and I school at Archbishop Potter Girls Secondary School. I want to entreat everyone to keep on watching GH Police TV. I want to greet my mom, Inspector Emilia A.C. Ellis, and my dad, Joseph Kojotevia, and my siblings and all my friends. Thank you.
The Rosemary, me turn there with Akuma Junction. Me chibo fruit, me chibayre. Me sramwa, obi anhwe police TV. Enu amapa e kwaso wo ho. Yada mo ase.
Me Harriet Nyako. Me shop nie. I had the idea obi are fam yada Akuma mama. Police TV so. Eho ye nice. Eniama ho nya ya me hwe. Enti enuanom ya mo so mo nhwe bi. Eniama ekoso nyina fine. Omo ye ho adagire, omo tie yensam. Omo ye asede enso mayen. Enti ya mu nyina mo hwe Police TV. Na eho de ensempa wo ho.
Ya frame antimata. Me wada Akuma Junction. Eho de eto ade. Na Police TV de eye TV papa. Omo maye hu wi ase ankasa nti obi anhwe Police TV. Police TV ana eye je. Me frame obaya no wada Akuma Junction. Me te ba no wada Akuma Junction wa. Me side of say mo share Police TV.
Your friend me nana, ye wada Akuma Junction, bus stop, Eduana Sea, opposite Techno. Na meton pastries. Obi anko so nhwe Police TV. De bia me hwe pa me ne membe nyina hwe. Omo bo mo ho mobden. Nti omo nkoso ana omo nye. Emma ye da ase.
Your friend me Felix Nana ya Afus. Police TV na mehwe. Na nipa wo ho ma ye omo kyerɛkyerɛ ye. Amemmuo any security ni amenyina. Mr. Adolfo nyina se monko so hwe Police TV.
Hi, I'm Clarice from Dansuman. I'm here to urge you all to please watch Ghana Police TV. It's very educative. Thank you.
I'm Owusu Cirilia and I'm talking from Alaji. And I'd like to entreat each and every one of you to watch Ghana Police TV because it's a very educative station and then it teaches us about how our police sometimes risk their lives to help curb some of the criminal activities in the community. So please keep on watching Ghana Police TV.
Yo Adolfo, me church munyina ya frame Matthew. Me yaduma ko Alaji to Medina. The strad of nyina say ya monko so anhwe Ghana Police TV. Na enema pa wo ho ema ye nyina. The church munyina ofasike awe yaduma ewo Domi Station na fi chairman Aminu nso wo Medina branch na fi ya kasa reporter efukwasi efu yawo ene adofo nyina mcheche mu nyina monkoso na monhwe Police TV na ne mapa ewo ho mai edabase.
My name is James. I'm in Alaji. So I want my friend and my family to keep on watching Ghana Police TV.
Menu ya no mo ne adofo no mo a o hwe me we aye GH Police TV. Say open kasamfoni ana TV station a ebema oman mu nsem papa ene se ne oman baba ye betena ase aboye mbra ene bambo nsem afa oman hu a ene na ma ekire wo se abri bia ma wakasamfoni no ana u TV no fatu Ghana Police TV eha ena wo beti nsem pa ehu niema atwa oman mu nyina hia ene ne pa opahwe midin Edi Solomon Sikapa Debra GH Police TV pa.
Hello lovely people. I have a Hungry Bites restaurants and then Ghana Police TV for any dish you Alaji Tabora you turn local dishes and continental dishes. Mr. Emma Ghana Police TV.
My name is Edward Philip from Alaji bus stop and I'm talking from Hungry Bites. Please, you can come anytime. We have assorted jollof, assorted fried rice, assorted Spag, shawarma, just come and try. Whenever you watch GH Police TV, you'll be very excited. I promise you. Thank you.
From your son to GH Police TV. I want to have power. Open your pet GH Police TV. I want to be answered.
Femi of fire, a deal be any more area more and of fire. But much ya my dofuna and much ya Ghana for Nina. Mamu be answer fish up. Name the Emma Hoa send that day. Ghana Police TV. At wire has so many bidding come. Now my bass body a decay ever come IGP. I want to do my power here. Because I said last year, Easter, bombing. That's Easter Saturday. Either Saturday or Sunday, move back. Then in Nina, whom I channel, near Kobasa or Shedio, Air Cosso, the better Nancy. Now there too should be a monsoon. I'm said the wire drew no on my name somewhere on Cosso. Because they say I'm a police, a human, I have Kono. We have been a man for to know Dinkita, I say Fata, Mobia, who so to say the police for so near and Temunkita, dear no, the better must say they decay, I was a honor. But in Crabama, my Dofunina, my customers in Yina, so beyond causes of a police TV. Na Yenina, and Fakumapa, and no dopa, no pepper, Yamfansum of mine, Yanis, I in a baby, I'm a Damas.
Oh, you're framing in Okataya. More Tabora Alaji. Let's say I don't force a GH Police TV. Na and some panning near power, more than more than my or mine. Young head, 19 to Swanamo. The young head, the bit of one, my yet two Paco.
Hi, my name is Ya Oforiwa, and this Police TV. Keep watching GH Police TV. Bye bye.
Within the Branford AJ, more Alaji. Na Mr. Adolfo, I say, GH Police TV. Na Nukonya Meni, the more police for Edebois or May or Corners, maybe Fabia, Mia Draventi, Nabella Jocrana, and say police were running to Anna Misro, Intimifa Quanya, so Abo IGP Abaso, where police for Talia Cra, say Crano, almost Shakrano, send a police for Talia Cra and say Quamusha Crowd himself. Be better not come, be better neat, be better not come, Intimicoso, Abo, IGP Abaso said, one course one and Oyano, one course on ye, Namin Shano, Adanasi, the Frame Kotoko, your taxi driver or large station, Ubia GH Police TV, Osha, or better police force, Medini Raymond Kui, Mr. Tabora Alaji, your taxi driver, Ghana Police for Ombo Modi, Intimishu Bian Crancer, Omokoso Fam Unya Regime, our Ghana Police. Niendino, Kramusumba Boy of Mobile, Namokoso Sunamonche, Police TV, a futupa, and in your mapa, and Kwanam Maya.
This is Prophet Frank Dake from Ablikuma Olebu. Always tune up to GH Police TV. GH Police TV, where you can witness anything concerning the police 24/7. Tune up. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Maria Masan. I'm from Oyarifa. I entreat all of you to keep on watching GH Police TV. Thank you.
A friend gifty, Metonadia or Dakuma Junction. Pasha Obian Kosunonshe Police TV. No one or more boy, or my.
Hello, cherished viewers. My name is Kwaku Safo, the Director of Pharmacy, Komfanochi Teaching Hospital. Keep on watching Ghana Police TV, engaging the people for safer communities.
I salute you, sir. If you want to be safe, if you want to know what is happening in Ghana, if you want to know what's happening in the community, watch Police TV. They tell us a lot, and I'm telling you, your life will not be the same. I love you so much. My name is Akoso Chipo. Keep on watching Police TV. They are the best. Thank you and love you.
My name is Dr. Edward Ekufo. I am an associate professor at the University of the Fraser Valley in Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. It's a pleasure, to come to the Ghana Police, headquarters, and also driving around, the city of Accra, around the country, and seeing the great work that the Ghana Police Service is doing. As a citizen of this country, I'm so impressed anytime, I visit Ghana for the past few years, about a positive image that the police service is, portraying to the Ghanaian public. In fact, I see smiles on the faces of Ghanaian police service. It is a positive thing, and I give a big shout out to the police service and encourage you to continue to do that. Really, you are living your motto, service with integrity. Thank you so very much, and God richly bless you all and continue to keep Ghana safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Edward. My name's Dave McGuire. I'm the Associate Vice President International, also at the University of the Fraser Valley in Canada on the beautiful west coast of the country in British Columbia. I agree 100% with everything Edward has said. I can add one additional piece of information as someone who's not from this country. I've had the wonderful opportunity to visit perhaps 60 countries around the world, and when I go to a new country and I want to go from point A to point B, obviously safety is extremely important, and not once in my week-long visit here and the previous visits here have I ever felt unsafe, and it's a testament to the wonderful work that you're doing. When we talk to the local people, right from Uber drivers up to university presidents, they all agree with the sentiments that Edward mentioned, and that is that you're doing a fantastic job keeping the country safe. So thank you as someone from outside to make me feel safe and welcome. You're doing a fabulous job.
My name is Christina Odiaje. I'm the Sector Commander for Customs Division GRA, the Port of Tema. I endorse GH Police TV. I'm doing this endorsement because by the very nature of the job of the police, they need information from the public and the citizenry. Customs and GRA, we collaborate a lot with Police TV, and I will advise that as citizens, you do same. And that means you have to be watching Police TV, and then you also give them information as and when you think they need it. Keep watching GH Police TV.
Hello viewers, my name is DSP Angela Itanke, the Coordinator for Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit, Cantonment Division. And as I mentioned, as the coordinator, my duties are to supervise the investigative processes of domestic violence cases, which are numerous in number, but I'll limit myself to two of the cases that we handle here, namely assault and defilement of children under 16 years old. The results of lack of parental care, these cases of defilement do occur quite a lot, and I would advise parents to pay keen attention to their children's interests. They should befriend their children, give them pieces of advice, and monitor their developmental processes. If you know your child too well, if something is off with that child, you will know, because usually the perpetrators will tell the children, if you mention it, you will die, just to instill fear in them so they wouldn't tell anyone. Parents should be free with their children, ask them questions, who they speak to, who their friends are, what they discuss with their friends, and even go ahead and ask if anybody has touched them inappropriately, and should be able to tell their children where they are not supposed to be touched, and that they should say it if somebody touches them inappropriately, because definitely they are not going to die. And the parents should also ensure that when the children inform them that this is what has happened to them, they should follow up with the police to come and report. Because if they shelve such cases within the community, it will deter will-be perpetrators, and then it means we'll be encouraging them to continue acting out. And when we come to the assaults as a result of economic empowerment, I think here there's the issue of provocation from both partners. It's not only male who do the assault. There are females who also assault their male partners. That is, if one partner provokes the other. If one partner abuses the other emotionally, the victim will usually act out, and then this can result into assault. Yeah, so my advice to partners is that they should be very tolerant of each other. They have family members, and once one partner assaults the other, it means it's going to continue. The first time it happens, it's going to happen all over again and again. So they have family members. I believe it is two family members who come together when couples want to get married or couples are together. So they should speak to a well-respected family member, a friend, for them to speak to the partner who is being abusive. And if this will not even totally eradicate assault, it will bring it to a minimal reduction. Couples should be very patient. If they can't find help, they should come to the police rather than resorting to assault. We are here to help you. We are here to listen to your issues. We are here to advise you on how not to let these things happen.
Hello, lovely viewers. I'm Angela. I encourage you all to watch Ghana Police TV for your security updates and educational purposes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I am Chief Inspector Josephine Osiamwa of the Accra Region Legal and Prosecutions. I visited the police headquarters today, and I took the opportunity to visit the GH Police TV. In fact, it is marvelous. It's mind-blowing. It is a very good job that needs to be emulated by the other African countries. GH Police TV, keep watching. Bye-bye.
I'm Richmond up here, and then William Asafo Kantanka. Yeah, so he's my friend Kantanka. Keep watching GH Police TV for more security updates. Thank you.
I'm PW Constable Asari Sandra from National Visibility. I will encourage everyone to watch GH Police TV.
Of Superintendent of Police, Mr. Cliff Aye Ofe. My name is Corporal Felix Kwekudia. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So let's start by looking at your career in policing and how you journey to become the Mount 7 District Police Commander.
Thank you, Corporal. My name is Cliff Aye Ofe, you've mentioned. I joined the Ghana Police Service in July 1988 after I have done O-level at Presec Legon and sixth form at Laboni Secondary School. On completion of my sixth form, I did national service at the State House.
Okay.
And then thereafter I got the enlistment. After my post-depot training, I was transferred to Asawase Police Station in Kumasi, where just after 7 months, after my first duty as a station orderly,
I was attached to the CID.
Okay.
Yes, I've been a CID till then. I have worked in stations like Kokofu, Bekwai.
All in the Ashanti region?
Yes, in the Ashanti region. Okay. Kokofu, Bekwai. Then the regional CID in Kumasi. And the regional CID, I worked in 2 units, the narcotics unit and the crime intelligence unit. I was sent back to the narcotics unit until I went to the police college in 2014. I graduated from the college and was sent back to the CID as a crime officer.
Okay.
I was sent to the Tema region where I worked at Boom district as the first district crime officer in Boom. Just after a year, I was transferred to Tema Community 1 as a district crime officer. Another year, I was transferred to Accra Central as a crime officer. Then another year, transferred to Tesano as a district crime officer. In 2018, I was elevated to the divisional crime status and sent to Yendi as the Yendi divisional crime officer. After almost 2 years in Yendi, I reverted. I wanted to be part of the uniform. So I was brought to Mile 7 to work as the Mile 7 district commander. And I've been here for almost 5 years.
Okay.
In July this year, I'll be 5 years working as the district commander in Mile 7.
Wow. So what it means is that you've gathered a lot of experiences from the police by working in various capacities.
Of course, I have. By dint of this experience, since 2017, during the era of Madam Tiwa, I was made to lecture at the detective training school.
Okay.
The training schools also heard of my expertise in experienced policing duties. So I was sent to the training depots to also lecture.
Okay.
It extended to the police academy, where I'm currently one of the senior lecturers lecturing roles and responsibilities of the district police commander. That is practical police duties.
Okay. So tell us, what responsibilities do you have in relation to arrest and bail?
Good. This is a very sensitive topic.
Okay.
Nobody on earth wants to be arrested. Nobody is happy when he or she is being arrested.
Yes.
Good. So when it comes to arrest, the police will have a duty to discharge. Yes. I think that most of the time policemen get it wrong. The rule is that anybody you want to arrest, you should first tell him or her why he is to be arrested. But do we often do that? You see policemen bundle people into police vehicle, taxis, private cars, and off they are gone. See the person shouting, "My day, what have I done?" Is this an arrest? It is an arrest, but it is not lawfully or legally done. The procedure states that the first thing is you must identify yourself to the one you are arresting, whether you are a police officer, you are from the BNI. So when that is done, then you tell the person in a language that he or she understands as to what he has done for you to cause his arrest. But to every rule, there is an exception. You cannot do this all the time. For example, when I was at narcotics unit, we were arresting people who were using drugs. Is it possible for a policeman to tell somebody on drugs that I'm coming to arrest you for using drugs? By the time you realize you are not careful, he will even stab you with a serious offense and run away.
Yeah.
So you just try to arrest him. When you overpower him, then tell him why, who you are, and then you send him to the station for investigations.
So sir, in that case, what exactly constitutes lawful arrest?
Yes. If you are able to identify yourself and you tell the person the offense for which you are arresting him, I think the Constitution is on your side.
Okay. Okay. But in the layman's language, when we say arrest, what exactly does it mean? What
yes, when they say you have been arrested, basically your liberty has been taken away from you.
Okay.
Before you were arrested, you were going about doing your... But at the time that you are arrested, you don't have the liberty. Some people, even after the arrest, they want to be using their phone to be calling No. You cannot do that. It is the officer who have arrested you who can call your relatives or alert your relatives that you have been arrested, you are being sent to Nima police station, you are being sent to Mount 7, so the family should proceed. The moment you are arrested, all liberties cease. You are restrained.
So what are some of the immediate rights of people when they have been arrested? What are some of the immediate rights?
At least the family should know that they have been arrested.
Okay.
And the person should know the offense for which you are arresting him. And then you must quickly tell him of his right to consult a counsel of his or her own choice.
Okay.
If you do this, you are good to go.
What would you say are some of the justifications for arresting someone without a warrant?
Good. The Constitution of Ghana states that even civilians, private persons, have power of arrest when an offense is committed in your presence. For example, let me give you an example. We are all at circle looking for vehicle. Somebody within the crowd steals a mobile phone. Do we go to court, apply for warrant before we effect the arrest? No. What do? Immediately, everybody, hey, control. Because he has committed a crime in the presence of the public. So the person is arrested. But the power of the public ends when they hand the suspect over to the police. But what do we see in Ghana today? They don't do that. They arrest people and subject them to severe beatings. That is totally wrong. And I have to caution the civilian populace. It is done every time. We always tell them, don't do it. They bring arrested persons to us. And you see the state in which they have subjected them to. So that is basically what the public should refrain from.
So if I understand you clearly, it means that a police officer can arrest someone based on mere suspicion.
Yes,
is that correct?
Even the public, the civilians, they have that power.
Okay.
Yes, somebody has lost an item. They suspect that Kojo Mensah has stolen it. Kojo Mensah is seen in the jurisdiction. They can arrest him. He has not been arrested for stealing, for committing the offense in their presence.
Some goes to the extent of beating the suspect.
Yes, this is what I was.
Is that a correct?
This is what I was just saying. That their power ends when they have arrested the person and hand him over to the nearest police station. That's all. Then the police take over. We investigate. If there is evidence, we put the arrested person before the court. If we don't have evidence, we grant the person bail, whilst we do our further investigations.
Okay.
Yes. So I have repeated it and we have also asked. Okay. So the public should desist from beating arrested persons.
That's correct.
Yes. Very, very criminal.
Now, talking about police, what would you say are some of the legal requirements that must be met before someone can be legally arrested?
Yes. At times when we suspect, we don't have 100% evidence that ABC is going on, we can go to the court.
Okay.
Inform the magistrate or the judge that this is what is happening in my jurisdiction. So I need a warrant. The court can come in, give us a warrant to go and continue with our investigation. Warrant by means of maybe search warrant, arrest warrant, or whatever it is. So the court is always there to also support us. Yes. But police, most of the time, is because somebody have come to the charge office to make an allegation that he or she has been wronged, has been assaulted, has been threatened. So immediately, the police accompany that person, and that person identifies whoever has threatened or assaulted him to the police, and the arrest procedure follows. You understand?
Yes, sir.
This time, it is a civilian who has come to us, has come to the station to tell us that Kofi Mensah have making a complaint. Kofi Mensah have threatened to kill him. Kofi Mensah have stolen his mobile phone. So we accompany the complainant to Kofi Mensah. Kofi Mensah, you are being reported for stealing. So we want you to assist in investigations. So that is where you apply the procedure of telling him the offense, identifying yourself, and then telling him. And in that form of arrest, as soon as you arrest the person, the police should conduct a search on him.
Immediately?
Yes. Why do we do that? In case they have some dangerous things on them, not to harm you or to harm themselves or the complainant.
Okay.
Good. So as soon as that arrest is done, immediate search is done before the person is sent to the station. But these days, what do we see? At times, when people come to stations to make complaint, we take the mobile phone numbers of the
complainants.
The suspects.
Okay.
But that depends on the nature of the crime.
Okay.
If you know the mobile phone number of a drug addict, a drug user, or an armed robber, will you invite him? Will he come? He will not come. But maybe this minor offenses, we invite them to the station and they report. Yes.
So sometimes we often hear about invitation that maybe the police have invited, or the police has invited someone to report him or herself to the nearest police station for an investigation. Does that also constitute an arrest?
Yes. But the arrest starts when you have reported yourself.
Okay.
When you are in your house and you have not come, you have not been arrested.
Okay.
You have only been invited.
Okay.
The moment you get to the police station, you have been arrested. And then the procedure I stated earlier takes over. Yeah. So we inform you of why you are there, the charge against you. If you want a lawyer to be present before you take your statement, now it's your own prerogative.
So talking about arrest, at what point does the police apply force during the process?
Yes. Most of the time, police don't normally apply force. You see, for example, those we invite to the police station, what justification do we have to apply force? But let's say, I gave an example.
They have willingly turned themselves in.
Good. So no, there won't be any use of force. But let's say the narcotics unit, they go out to arrest these drug users. You know how violent they are?
Yes.
Good. They even try to attack the police. So in this instance, the police is also justified to save themselves, arrest them, and bring them to the station for investigations to continue. So at times, force is applied. Okay. But the force should be equal. Not that the person is resisting arrest. Because of that, you take AK and fire him. You take your short weapons and fire them. No. If it's at times, some of them are scared. They resist. When we overpower them, they give up. Good. So but I want to sound a question to the public.
Okay.
It is better or in their own interest to always follow or accompany the police to the police station and tell the police their side of the story. I've been in the service for almost 37 years. Yes. Most of the people who come to the child office to tell us of complaints, they don't come to tell us the truth. So at times they come to lie to us. So when we are going to arrest, we have that at the background that the person have done this. But when you go to the suspects, they have not done that. So you see,
the story
is different. So they want to know, I no crime, yes, sir. So that is, so I urge the public to always tell us the truth so that we'll be able to do the right thing. If you tell me that the person have insulted me in my house, or say me here, I will not go and arrest the person. I will take the person's number because you are in the same house. At least you know his or her number. And I'll invite the person, and the person will come. But they will come and say, also, by the time you go, the person, those in the house, witnesses, say, no, it has not happened. So when they come to the stations, they come to tell out, they come to give us sugar-coated stories for us to maybe follow them armed, good, which is totally bad. So the public should always come and tell us the truth.
Okay.
Good. Okay. So that is what makes you a professional police officer. You listen to one side of the case, you don't make judgment, then you try and arrest the person and listen to the other side.
So cross-checking information on both sides.
Good. You don't just listen to what the complainants. I've said it. 90% of them, they come here to tell us lies. So professional policemen, you need to listen to the other side. It's not only police, it's about the whole world.
Okay.
You don't listen to one side of a case and make judgment.
Okay.
You must always listen to the other side.
Okay. So in practical terms, what happens when after someone has been arrested?
Good. When you are arrested to the station, you go through another process. The first is that we must take your statement.
Okay.
Some people say they will not give statement until their counsel or their lawyers are present. Is their right? When I was a young constable, when you say you won't give statement, I become angry. I said, why? You have been arrested, you won't give statement. But later I got to understand, is their right? Some people also want to give statement when their lawyers are present.
Okay.
Yes. because some of the things they are going to say are technical.
Okay.
They need to be guided by their lawyers before they talk. But when the lawyers are also present at the station, they shouldn't interfere with the writing of statements.
Okay.
They should only be present to observe the police.
And allow the suspect to
yes,
write his or her statement.
the suspect can also write his or her statement. That is also allowed. But the lawyer should not be interfering. Don't write this. Don't allow the person to just observe. Because we should have a lawyer, we should have an independent witness before we take that investigation caution statement.
But thank you very much for those submissions. Right, so if you just tune into GH Police TV, this is still time with police departmental heads on GH Police TV. We are also live on DSTV channel 362, and I still have with me the Mile 7 District Police Commander in the person of Superintendent of Police, Mr. Cliff Aye Ofe, who is talking to us about arrest and bail. That is what we are looking at today on the show. My name is Corporal Felis Kokudia. We are going for a short break. We'll be right back. You are welcome back from the break, and we are coming to talk about the second concept, that is bail. And I still have with me the Mile 7 District Police Commander to give us a breakdown of what exactly we mean when we talk about bail. Welcome to the show once again, sir.
Thank you.
Now, when we say bail, what does it mean in relation to arrest?
Okay, thank you again. When we talk of bail, bail is the guarantee backed by a promise for an accused or a suspect to report himself before the police or to appear before a court. The guarantee that because we have not completed our preliminary investigations, we are granting you bail. You go home, the police continues with our investigations. If you are done with our evidence, you come back, we charge you, you become an accused person, and we push you before the court. So when we talk of bail, basically that is it. So in police itself, we have 3 types of bail in the police.
So can we look at them
good.
Like one after the other?
Good. The first is the police self-recognizance bail.
What does that mean?
Yes. Kakudia, I'm going to explain.
Yes, sir.
Bail, self-recognizance bail means that looking at the offense, the offense is not a felony. The offense is not of a grievous nature.
It's not the first degree felony.
It's not a first degree felony, neither a second degree. Or it can even be any of them, but we don't have evidence.
Okay.
You are just picked on suspicion.
Okay.
And we feel that we cannot detain you or keep you. We can grant you self-recognizance bail. The self-recognizance means that we don't need any surety to come and guarantee your appearance. Okay. But you are going to sign on your own.
So before you continue, when you say surety, what does it mean?
Good. Surety is that somebody should come and append his or her signature or thumbprint.
Okay.
To guarantee that you will go home anytime the police want to, you report.
Okay.
So that is the surety.
That's correct.
Good. Now, we want to release you, the suspect or the accused, in your own recognizance. That we call self-recognizance bail. That's why we don't need any surety.
Okay.
You are granting the bail in your own recognizance.
So what it means that you are expected to be reporting yourself
yes,
from time to time.
Every bail condition goes with report yourself at the police or appear before the court.
Okay.
Report yourself weekly, daily, monthly.
Okay.
That is the first one.
Okay.
Then we have
second one.
The bail with surety.
Okay.
Bail with surety. That one, somebody should come and guarantee. And it can be one person, it can be 2 persons or more, depending on the nature of the crime. First, we said it is not felony, but this time it can be felony, it can be serious, grievous, or whatever it is. So we want somebody to sign. For example, somebody has been reported for defrauding a suspect of $10,000. We want to grant the person bail. We cannot release him to go in his own recognizance. We want somebody to come and guarantee. Maybe we look at the $10,000 and say, no, it's too much. So 2 persons or 2 people should sign the bail bond for you to go home and be reporting to us. Then the third one is a court bail.
Court bail. Okay.
At the police station. Court bail.
Okay.
That one, you are an accused person. When I say an accused person, it means that you were a suspect. We're investigating our case. There's evidence against you. We are putting you before court. So we have charged you.
Okay.
So this time you have been charged. So you have moved from a suspect to an accused person. You are now an accused person. You are going to appear before a court of competent jurisdiction. So we want somebody to come and sign your bail bond for you to appear in court.
Okay.
Good. So that one, when you are bailed, you have nothing to do with us, the police.
So
we give you a date, time, and place, the court for you to attend. Ask your question, Kweku.
Okay. So at what point do you allow people to come forward and sign or guarantee for suspects?
So
what's the reason
let's talk of the first suspect, investigations. Maybe we are not done. We cannot finish this case within the 48 hours. You know, the law states that we shouldn't detain suspects for more than 48 hours. Good. And I want the public to understand. They come here, they said, we're detaining in 24 hours. But the public, I don't know where they are having their constitution from. The Constitution of Ghana says not more than 48 hours. Yes. So the public should know that when a relative has been detained for 24 hours, it's no basis for them attacking the police. It's 48 hours. And the public don't also know how to calculate the 48 hours. Or the 24 hours they say. And for 24 hours, or that's them. It is not so. 24 hours is when he's arrested, 11th April, 12 p.m. It means that 24 hours is when? 12 April, 12 p.m. Before it's 24 hours. You understand? But the public always have a way of calculating it, and they'll be attacking the police. So
now, on that premise, what can you say about bail during the weekends? Because there's a perception about bailing people during the weekends.
There is nothing like bail during weekends or arrest. Some people, when I was a young constable, say, "See, I train Saturday." Me say, "Nah, or say, it's not done. It's wrong. It's hourly, hours, 24 hours, 48 hours, 72. It's not. There's nothing like weekend. So if you arrest somebody on Friday, the person can be granted bail that same Friday or Saturday. It's irrelevant trying to quote weekend against a crime. You know.
Okay. Now you mentioned bail bond.
Good.
Now when you say bail bond, what exactly does it mean?
Good. Bail bond is a document that the police, you have to fill. The one who have been arrested will sign or thumbprint. The one coming to sign security for you will write his name, sign, and thumbprint. And then we put a bail sum against the offense. In the olden days, people thought that when we say we are granting somebody bail 200,000 Ghana cedis, you are supposed to pay. Now, those days they call it security deposit. These days it is no more. You don't pay money when you are granting bail to anybody. You don't pay money. Bailing or granting bail is free. The police need not take any money. But in case you are going to sign bail, the police will quote an amount of money on the bail bond. That is in case the person absconds. Let me give you an example.
So I wanted to ask the purpose of that sum of money that is often stated.
That is where exactly I'm driving to. I mentioned earlier that somebody has defrauded somebody of $10,000.
Okay.
Remember?
Yes.
Good. And we want to release you on bail. We should grant you bail in a way that if the accused person absconds, if the suspect jumps bail or run away, the $10,000 will be gotten from the surety so that the complainant will not lose his or her money. So you are signing bail for the person, $10,000 for you, the surety, and $10,000 for the suspect. So when we put you before court, we tell the court that the bail sum was $10,000 for the suspect and $10,000 for you, the surety. But we are not going to collect the money here. It is only when he has jumped bail and we have restricted the bond on you. When the person jumped bail, we restrict bond on you. Yes, we put you before a court and tell the court that you came to enter into an obligation with us that you will let somebody report each time we want the person. But the person has drawn bail, so we are putting you before the court for the court to deal with you. Good.
So what are some of the factors you consider before granting someone bail?
Good. Very good question. Before we grant bail, we look at the gravity of the charge.
Okay.
In all my earlier submission, I said it. The gravity of the charge.
Okay.
In some of the instances, the police, we don't even have power to grant bail.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. In a murder case.
Okay.
In a murder case, what power do the police have to grant bail? No.
You have to go to court.
Immediately go to the magistrate court. They are there. They are willing to hear us, and they will remand him for you to bring the suspect back to police custody and continue with your investigation. So there's nothing like bail in some of the serious, until Supreme Court came with all cases are bailable. We were not granting bail to certain serious felonies. No, so the gravity of the charge is paramount before you grant bail. But what I want to tell my fellow police officers is that if you have evidence and it's a grievous matter, put the person before court.
Okay.
The court will listen to you and then maybe put the person in lawful custody.
Okay.
And continue with your investigations.
Okay.
Good.
Now, sir, tell us.
I wanted to mention the other bills.
Okay.
I finished with the police.
The second one?
No, the police ones I finished.
Okay.
But I want to talk about when we put you before court and your case is called the Republic versus Kwadwo Menu, you enter the dock in the courtroom.
Yes.
As soon as you enter the dock in the courtroom, you have been arrested by the magistrate.
Okay.
You have been arrested by the judge.
Okay.
So
that is the interpretation.
Yes.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, if the judge wants or the magistrate wants, he or she will grant you bail.
Okay.
Or remand you into police custody or prison custody.
Okay.
Good. And that bail, the public think that it is the police who are supposed to execute it. No. It's totally no. That is not the work of the police.
Okay.
That is the work of the registrar and the court clerks. Because it's a court bail. You know, we granted the person court bail earlier at the police station.
Yes.
But the person was supposed to appear before court. And that has been done. As soon as the person is in the dock, the prerogative is now in the judge. So if the person is granted bail at the court, it is the registrar together with the court clerks who will do it. But in conjunction with the investigator, because the investigator needs to know who is signing bail for you at the court. So that in case the accused absconds or jam bail, we are able to extract the bond on. But you see the public giving pressure to the investigator, Yaman Yenipa bail or court, or that's them. It is not the police who is causing the delay.
Okay.
Go to the registrar. When they are satisfied, they will invite the investigator to go and do the needful and come and also sign the bail bond for it to be billed at the court.
Okay.
So that is the two types of bail, the police ones and the court.
Okay. So, sir, under what conditions can bail be revoked after it has been granted to a suspect?
Good. I think when you are granted bail, it normally goes with conditions. You are supposed to be reporting yourself periodically to the police.
Okay.
Maybe fortnightly, maybe daily, maybe weekly, maybe monthly. If you fail to abide by this, and it's a court bail, we inform the judge, and the judge can immediately revoke your bail. Or you're supposed to assist the police whilst you are on bail. Yes, we are granting you bail. The case have not ended. We are still investigating, and you are not doing that. Yes, your bail can be revoked. So I think basically these are the grounds for which your bail can be revoked.
Okay.
But if you adhere and you go according to what the regulation is, report yourself, you don't have any problem. You don't have any problem.
Okay.
Good.
So, sir, what would you say are some of the challenges you encounter when it comes to arrest and bail?
Good.
As the district commander, what can you say to this?
I will first start with bail.
Okay.
The most difficult problem these days facing Ghana police is all offences being bailable.
Okay.
It's a difficult thing for the police. And now we have people who they are termed as bail contractors. They will go and rent an apartment, furnish it, and pretend as if that is where they stay. They will
use it as...
Yes. they will take you, the investigator, the court officials there, for you to know that that is where they stay. And they will come and sign bail. You go, you see their photographs. You saw my photographs here. Yes, it shows I'm here. The next time you go, the landlord will say, oh, I'm behind there in 2 months. They are gone. The suspect is out of their jurisdiction. And this is one of the greatest challenges. People are running away from justice because of this issue of all cases available. That's why I said earlier, the police, we should immediately put them before court. When it goes to court, the conditions is a bit stiffer.
So looking at the problem you've stated, how do you think we can overcome this as police officers?
That is why I'm saying we don't have much to do. Just put the arrested person or accused person before the court, and you are good to go. At times, even some of them, when we go to court, they plead guilty, and they are dealt with.
So how do you think the public can support the police in this regard, looking at the problem?
You see, what I've seen about Ghanaians is that once it is not affecting them directly,
they don't care.
Thank you. Once it's affecting Kofi Mensah and his people should suffer. But when it is them, you see them all over. But when it is crime, it is not against the person, the complainant, or the family. It's against the whole state. That is why when we go to court, we say the Republic of Ghana versus the suspect who have done ABC. So I think Ghanaians should have the love for the country by making sure that some of these criminals are sent away from society. The society will be very peaceful if Ghanaians cooperate with the police to eliminate this sort of criminals from the society.
Okay. So what steps do you think we can take as people to educate the public about arrest and bail?
Yes. I think the PR, for example, this program that you have done.
Good.
Yes. I hope it will be aired and aired. Yes. And the public should watch. Some of them, you see their TV on musicals, drama. I don't say it's bad, but at least at times, tune into police TV. Okay. You will be educated.
Thank you.
To know what is not right and what is right. Like I mentioned, they come here and say, we're done 24 hours. Then I stand here and I laugh at them. So this sort of programs, very educative to the public. Okay. But I urge them to tune into police TV and listen. If you don't listen, how do you learn or how do you educate yourself?
Now, your final words for our viewers on Police TV as we draw curtain on the show for today.
Police TV is wonderful. Before the advent of Police TV, certain things to me, I didn't even know. I've been very, very proud of Police TV. Right. At O'Brien is motor traffic.
Yes.
I really watch and I enjoy. Okay. You know, I was a detective, a CID throughout, with less knowledge in motor traffic. But now I can tell you, at O'Brien is my mentor. I watch him and I listen. Yes, and I watch and listen to him.
Okay.
The last time I came to the premises of Police TV, I met him and I congratulated him.
Thank you so much. All right, viewers, thank you for joining us on Police Departmental Education on GH Police TV. We hope today's discussion has given you a clearer understanding about arrest and bail and the laws that guide all of them. Until we meet again on GH Police TV, this has been Corporal Felix Kwekubia. Many thanks for watching.